Right, hello, welcome everyone to the debut edition of the Recycle Bin. We are your hosts, the Master of the Brain Damage,
Martin.
and the one and only Sam H. And today we're going to be looking at the repackagings and recyclings of say underrated talent, the one and only Matt Bloom.
Current NXT head trainer, I believe he is.
Yeah. Training up a lot of wrestlers at the Performance Center.
Yeah, well, let's start from the beginning, shall we?
Yeah, he came into the Federation in the late 90s as Prince Albert with his piercing kit.
Yep, and his, shall we say, his rather hairy physique as well.
Shit.
His wrestling attire has done no favours for him hiding any of this.
Oh my god. Oh, yeah, I can't. Who was he tagging with originally? I think it was maybe Droz.
Going along with his image, yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good shout.
Yeah, I think that was his original tag team.
Yeah, of course, until, well, I imagine that probably got ended when, unfortunately, Droz had his rather fatal injury.
Yep, he got powerbombed by D'Lo Brown and it pretty much retired him.
Yeah, paralysed from, was it the neck down?
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah. The nastier side that nobody wants to see him wrestling, regardless of who it is who gets hurt.
So no, after that ended, he pretty much floated around until the early 2000s, where he was repackaged for the first time as just Albert.
Yep, and we had the, you could probably say his most successful period. He was involved in despite their hype and their popularity, they're not as successful as what people remember them as. We had the famous T&A tag team.
I love that tag team. It was great.
Yeah. I'm guessing it didn't have anything to do with who they had managing them.
No, not at all. I love their athleticism and their dynamic moves in the ring.
Yes.
No, I can't say that with a straight face. It was all about Trish.
Of course, we're talking about Test and Albert being managed by I believe, was she technically debuting then? Trish Stratus.
Yeah, that was her first real roles in the company.
Yeah. They had a good run. I think they went. Did they go for a couple of years?
Oh, no, it wasn't that long. I think maybe a year and a half.
Ah, it felt a little bit longer than that.
No, it went up until mid 2001, I think, early 2001. They split up. Because if you remember, Albert was in another tag team with X-Pac and Just Incredible.
Called
the X Factor.
How can we forget the X Factor just for the theme song?
Oh, I try to forget that theme song. If you're curious, don't look it up. Don't subject yourself to it. It's not worth it. How they thought X-Pac could lead a group on his own is beyond me. But from what I'm aware, Just Incredible defected to the WCW Invasion. X-Pac sort of vanished again.
Maybe we'll just give you a little taste.
Oh, why?
Yeah, whoever thought of that theme should be shot.
Oh man, it's 15 years on and it still sucks.
And going by the information I've got just here, man, I believe it was the not too famous at the time, but soon we would know the name. Part of Kid Rock's band / entourage.
Oh god.
None other than Uncle Cracker.
Oh Christ. That's a controversial name if I ever heard one. So yeah, Albert kind of drifted around again for a while and then he went into a tag team with Scotty 2 Hotty, of all people.
Wow.
And he became the Hip Hop Hippo.
Wow. I'd even forgotten about that one. Obviously, I'm guessing that was after Too Cool had disbanded.
Yeah, this was late 2001. Which is another tag. They didn't really do anything of note. And it was no surprise when they split up in early 2002, I think.
Yeah.
And then Albert got his first repackaging, you could say, in mid 2002. When he became, under Paul Heyman's advice, the A Train.
Ah, of course. Who can forget A Train?
And he famously got the chance that he didn't quite like.
Ah, would that by any chance be the shave your back?
Yes, which he would get on a regular basis for the rest of his time in the company. Oh my goodness.
Oh God, try not to get on a too personal note, but I remember we both know someone else who used to get that chanted a few times at him.
Yeah, but he actually did shave his back.
Big shout out to one of our main guys from college, the Mean Green, Dan Green.
Or,
He done it all for you, buddy.
or Zandiel, as he's better known now on YouTube. And of course, the man himself, the man with the peach body. Sean Harvels. It's okay, he won't listen to it.
So yeah, and then was it in this repackaging he got his one and only title?
I think that was slightly before the invasion. He won the Intercontinental title as Albert one time.
Yeah.
And he held it for about 3 weeks, I think,
Yeah.
before losing it to Lance Storm.
I would say I'll give the guy credit. He's worked for the company for a long time under a lot of different aliases and names. But surprisingly, that was his only title.
Yeah. All this time in WWE and whatnot. And that's his only accomplishment.
Yeah.
But then he went to New Japan for a few years.
Yeah.
Became the Giant Bernard.
Yeah.
And he was a lot more successful in Japan.
Yeah. I mean, he became quite a household name in Japan, and then I believe after a while he repackaged again in New Japan, and then he became a character the WWE Universe would learn to know. A little while after, he became the slightly mysterious, but as soon as you saw him, you knew who it was straight away. Lord Tensai.
Oh Christ! Now I tell you, when they showed the promo videos for him, I was like, yes, we're getting this new amazing Japanese wrestler.
Yeah, looks really impressive. I mean, he almost had Shredder-esque armor.
Yeah. And when he came out, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. I like the armor. I like the helmet.
Here's one for you because I can't remember it. What was his manager?
Sakamoto. I think.
That sounds about right.
I can't remember, but I know he used to slap him about something rotten.
oh yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when he debuted, he actually rivaled against Cena.
I think he even beat Cena.
Yeah,
once.
Yeah. I believe you're correct on that one.
But no, it didn't take long for the whole allure to wear off.
Yeah, and then he took his vengeance and his anger out on his poor manager Sakimoto.
I think it was Sakimoto. I don't know.
And I don't believe we ever saw him after that beatdown.
Nope, he got fired. Bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to go out. You get beat up by the guy you're managing, and then you lose your job.
And then, from what I'm aware, the Lord part disappeared, the armor disappeared, and he became just Tensai.
Yeah, he didn't really do anything of note from then. And then I think we've got to say one of the lower points in his career. He then got basically talked into joining Brodus Clay and the Funkadactyls.
Oh, Christ.
And we soon knew to know him as is it Sweet Daddy T? Or
Sweet tea.
Sweet Tea.
And
There
this was
you go.
Another awful thing.
I mean, didn't we have an infamous match in this whole charade where Albert was in lingerie
Oh God.
and doing and busting some moves out for us?
Yeah, this was on I think a Raw Roulette episode. He had to complete in a lingerie match. Or
Yes, he had a dance. Was it a lingerie dance off or something? With
and we were treated to the horrible sight of Albert in a negligee.
yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
could be wrong, but I think his opponent might have been Santino.
I think you're right. Looks familiar. I think Santino that night called him Fat Albert.
Yes, and of course, we're not breaking the fourth wall here because they were separate people, but I think we got treated to not Santino being on the show that night, but his sister, Santina.
Oh, another terrible gimmick. One of the lower points of WrestleMania 25, if you've seen it.
So yeah, and then after that all finished, and the Funkadactyls disbanded.
Yeah, the end of Tons of Funk.
Yeah,
I think Brodus Clay went heel and then got fired.
yeah, and then he went away for a little while, and then I believe he next appeared in NXT
Yep.
as a commentator, Justin Albert.
Yeah. Another reinvention. I think he'd had enough wrestling at that point, so he turned to commentating. And he was a semi-decent commentator. I mean, I watched some of the original NXT. Wasn't anything stunningly good, but he did his job.
Yeah, that lasted for a short period, and then he moved into the backstage of the arenas and that, and he moved over to the performance center and become the head trainer, Matt Bloom, which is of course his real name.
Yeah, he's gone back to Matt Bloom. I think he's retired now, and he's doing for a lot of people consider to be his most successful role, training up the next generation.
Yeah, I mean, as we've said in the past, some guys they don't quite get the credit they deserve for the stuff they do whilst they're in their active wrestling career. But yeah, without a doubt, Matt Bloom has certainly excelled, and he's been doing some amazing work bringing up the new talent into NXT, and some of them which we're now seeing on the main roster.
Yeah, I mean, Christ, he's got one hell of a job to play, and he's doing it fabulously well. I think it speaks volumes for the man that while not having a great in-ring career himself, he's still been able to pass on the knowledge to the next generation.
Yeah, and for anyone that's seen bits and pieces of the latest season of Tough Enough, some of the shall we say comical moments between him and Robbie Brooks' side, especially including, as much as he's a lovable guy, ZZ, it's just pure gold.
He's always getting ripped. ZZ.
Although we do believe his conditioning has improved a hell of a lot, and he's starting to make some strides within the company. I mean, I wouldn't say we're probably going to be seeing him on telly within the next few months, but he's certainly made a lot of improvements, and who knows, we may see him debut before the guy that actually won it. I can't even remember his name because they've now given him a wrestling name now.
Right. I never watched Tough Enough, so I don't know.
No, well, let's not forget Hogan was originally on there before let's just say the court cases and accusations came hunting after him.
Oh boy. So yeah, that celebrates the career of Matt Bloom. He's had a lot of repackagings. I mean, go back to Wikipedia and look at the list. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We were going to do 2 or 3 of these, but he's had so many. He's getting an episode to himself.
Yep, and Try not to knock the guy or anything, but he deserves it.
Yeah.
He's had a hell of a career.
Yeah. Successful in Japan. I mean, he's been an Intercontinental Champion, which is a very short list.
Yeah, and regardless, the majority of them, you got to give them dues where it's due when it comes to the Continental title.
So I think that about wraps it up for the debut episode of the Recycle Bin.
Yep, and in the coming weeks, we'll be bringing some more to you.
Yeah. So, from your hosts, the master of the brain damage,
I've been Martin.
and the one and only Sam H, we will see you on the next one. Peace out.